Welcome to the Prophecy Club. Our topic today is Russia can now declare war against America. Actually, America has attacked Russia, not exactly directly, but indirectly we have attacked Russia. So Russia could very well stand up and say, after they attacked us, they could say, wait a minute, they drew first blood. They attacked us first. So this first one comes from Benjamin Fulford. This autumn, it will be either world war or world government. Let me read that again. This autumn, he says, it will either be world war or world government. He says, true to its promise, the Black Sun organization, this is the Molochs, these are the evil people ruled by Satan that rule the world. The Black Sun organization is increasing mayhem worldwide. In other words, you recall he was told, Benjamin Fulford was told, we've ruled this planet for thousands of years and we'll destroy it rather than give it up. And so they're very close to losing it right now. Now we know that they're not going to totally lose it because the Antichrist has to have his 3.5 years, okay? There has to be a world government. All the prophecies have to be fulfilled. But it says the Black Sun organization is increasing mayhem worldwide. They promise that if a worldwide federation is not announced this autumn, there will be a world war. And this is not uncommon for them. They say we'll rule the world or we'll destroy it, one or the other. It says the current regimes in the United States, NATO, South Korea, Japan, and Israel will be dismantled. In other words, that is the fall temporarily of the deep state. I'll call it the deep state. They say the current Khazarian mafia, that's what some of them call it, what they call DVD, and I've never heard it called that before, controlled governments need to be removed before new global arrangements, here it is, including a new financial system can begin. Now, let me explain something. So the evil guys, the Federal Reserve, those people behind it, the Rockefellers, the deep state, whatever you want to call them, Khazarian mafia, they are trying urgently to come out with a new digital currency, the central bank, CBDC, central bank digital currency. But the white hats, according to their website, I pulled down the location, also says that the white hats are trying to do the same thing. So there's a rush to see who's going to form the world government and the new monetary system. And we know that probably the good guys do come out with it first. But we also know that at the end of the day, he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark on the right hand or in their forehead, and that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark of the name of the beast, the number of his name. So we know the Antichrist is going to ultimately control our finances, our world government, world religion, and world finances. Okay. I got so much to tell you, I don't even know how I'm going to get through it all. So I'm going to move quick. Russia to modernize nuclear arsenal. Well, la-di-da, we're so surprised. A primary guarantor of national security, their military, Moscow and the West, over the Ukraine conflict, has now got into it. Russia would use all means available to defend itself if its existence were at stake. By the way, the thing about we've attacked Russia, I will get to that, but that's going to be in the second half of the program. I got so much to tell you. And this is from RT. I forget what it's the Russian website. U.S. to redirect air defense orders to Ukraine and the White House. The U.S. will prioritize deliveries of Patriot and NASAMS missiles to Ukraine over any pending orders from other countries in an effort to shore up Ukraine. Kyiv is currently in desperate need of additional air defense capabilities. You know, in my opinion, I don't think that America should have sent a dime to Ukraine. These are the Nazis. This is the origins of the Nazis, which spread from there over to Switzerland, over to Germany, our boys fought in World War II. And now we've switched sides. We're supporting the Nazis. So we are the bad guys. I know it sounds crazy. That's the truth. Russia intercepts 120 Ukrainian drones overnight. So these Ukrainian drones apparently are causing some problems with Russia. Russian air defense units prevented an attempt by Kyiv regime to carry out a terrorist attack using unmanned boats and airplane-type UAVs on Russian infrastructure. Where do you suppose they're getting them? They're getting them from America. So this is America attacking Russia. Russia fears a NATO attack, and here's why. As its Ukrainian proxy faces defeat, the U.S.-led bloc is becoming increasingly reckless. Putin declared that the actions of Western governments had brought the world to the point of no return. Now, what do you suppose he means, the point of no return? He's basically saying to the point of a nuclear war. And we're even saying nuclear war. Kremlin explains what Putin meant by Russia willing to go all the way. The West is playing chicken with Moscow and the Ukrainian conflict. So to go all the way refers to a nuclear war. They don't exactly say it that way, but that's exactly what they're talking about. Apparently they count on us to chicken out. This is Putin saying this. But at the same time, they said they want to achieve a strategic defeat against Russia on the battlefield. We are so close to a war, and Dmitry was told this back in 1984. The fall of America would start with an internal revolution in America, started by the communists. Some of the people will start fighting against the government. The government will be busy with internal problems. Then from the oceans, Russia, Cuba, Nicaragua, Central America, Mexico, and two of the countries you couldn't remember will attack and defeat America in 1 hour, getting very close to it. U.S. permits Ukrainian strikes anywhere beyond conflict front line. What? Okay, so we've been sending weapons over to Ukrainians, but we've been telling them that they can't use them on Russian territory. But now we're allowing them to use them on Russian territory. Hungary won't ride the NATO war train. So Hungary is trying to stay out of this. Budapest will stay out of the Ukraine conflict, the Prime Minister has vowed. NATO forces on a final stretch, U.S. to Ukraine. Hit targets across Russia, down fighter jets inside Russian EEZ. No Americans are to travel to Russia. Okay. Now, it's not just America hitting Russians. This is NATO. Bad news for Ukraine. Russians dropped the FAB 3000 M54 Beast bomb with UMPK for the first time. Kyiv casualties in 24 hours hit 2,165 people. Now, this is not nuclear, but it is a big, bad bomb. And the video showed it hitting, but, it was another explosion to me. So I didn't think it was important enough to put on the video. Russia's monstrous 3-ton bomb is a game changer. In the conflict, Ukrainians, they can destroy entire Ukrainian fortifications, hit underground targets, concrete reinforced command posts. These bombs went back into mass production, improved with windage kits, so they're a little bit more accurate. A 4-story building used in the Ukrainian armed forces was the first target. Denmark government tells citizens store food, water, medicines, country under threat. And you know what? Denmark is not the first one. Germany's done that, and I think Sweden did the same thing. There was another couple of countries. Even Britain is getting to that point too. So we're not the only one. Putin is now saying that the West is seeking a strategic defeat of Russia in Ukraine, and that means an end to 1,000 years of Russian statehood or Russian rule. That's what they're saying. What's really going on here? The way Russia is taking this doesn't make any difference what we think. Doesn't make any difference what our news tells us. The only difference is the guys with the big bombs, that would be Russians, what are they saying? We are saying. And they are saying that the NATO and the West and America is attempting to destroy Russia. Those are fighting words. Those are words of war. So it goes on to say Russian nuclear first strike against the West has now had the door open to it. And, as you said, they consistently raise the degree and escalation of the situation. Now, this is Putin saying what the West is doing. Matter of fact, I'm going to cover this. And I think I've got some videotape of you actually watching Putin say this. So Putin is saying they expect us to be scared at some point, and we're not. They want to achieve a strategic defeat of Russia on the battlefield. It means the end of Russian statehood, the end of a 1,000-year history of Russian state. So why should we be afraid? Isn't it better to go all the way than to, in other words, is it better to die on your feet or to fall to your knees and surrender? And the Russians are saying, we're not going to surrender. Everything I'm hearing saying, we're getting close to a nuclear war with Russia. Therefore, this is Putin. I think that those who think so, and even more so, say so, make another big mistake.
Мы это видим, наблюдаем, они все время, как вы сказали, повышают градус, эскалируют ситуацию. Видимо, рассчитывают на то, что мы в какой-то момент испугаемся. Но в то же время они говорят и о том, что хотят добиться стратегического поражения России на поле боя. Что это означает для России? Для России это означает прекращение ее государственности. Вот что это означает. Это означает конец тысячелетней истории российского государства. Я думаю, что это для всех понятно. А тогда встает вопрос, а зачем нам бояться? Не лучше ли тогда идти до конца? Это элементарная формальная логика. Курс, который мне недолго, там у нас, по-моему, полгода всего был, формальная логика преподавалась в университете, но я хорошо об этом помню. И помню даже преподавателя, который нам читал этот курс. Поэтому я думаю, что те, кто так думает, а тем более так говорит, совершают очередную большую ошибку.
Now this is what Hal Turner says about it. President Vladimir Putin says a particular thing, and he means what he says. Russia made strategic diplomatic efforts over the Ukraine situation for years and told the West in December of 2021 that there has to be an ironclad, legally enforceable security guarantee for Russia. Now, what he's about to say is actually important here. This explains the situation going on with Ukraine. So, Russia is asking for legally enforceable security guarantees for Russia over an ever-nearing encroachment by NATO, Russia's border. So this is what Russia was asking for before Ukraine. The West laughed at it. The Russia came along again in January 2022 and said, only this time they told the world that if Russia cannot obtain ironclad, legally enforceable security guarantees by diplomatic means, it will obtain them by military or military technical means. The West laughed at Russia again. February 23rd, 2022, once again, Russia offered the peace sign. Okay, I mean, Russia's trying to get along. And what happened? We laughed at them again. After 5 hours, they gave a 5-hour warning saying this is what has to happen if you don't want us to invade Ukraine. And it was like some 7 hours later, Russia waited, nothing was done, so Russia gave plenty of warning, but the West ignored it. I'm saying, not just me saying it, but many, many different sources are saying, in this one, America's the bad guy. Well, we're not surprised. We've got some bad people running our nation right now, which is one of the reasons God says he's about to destroy it. So the bad guys are us. I'm not going to say the good guys are the Russians, but at least they keep their word. Hal Turner goes on to say, it is the absolute worst red flag imaginable. Russia has a nuclear doctrine. They've had it open to the public for years. In that nuclear doctrine, Russia makes it clear that they will only use nuclear weapons if there is a threat to the existence of the Russian state, just like we just threatened them with. So he goes on to say, so if Russia is going to lose its 1,000 years of statehood, it may as well go to nuclear war. Essentially, that's what it's saying. Updated information. Ukraine launches ATACMS against civilians on a beach. 3 killed, 100 injured. Now, what is this? This is your bomblets missile. In other words, it just lets out bomblets all over and kills a lot of people. And it was Ukraine that launched it. But here's the interesting part. The next day this article comes out, U.S. drone appears to have provided target coordinates for a Ukraine strike on Russian civilians at a beach. There's more, hang on. So the ATACMS could not get targeting coordinates because of Russian GPS electronic warfare jamming. Instead, America targeted those Russian civilians. We were the ones that built the military device. We were the ones that aimed it. And the Ukrainians just pushed the button. Truth be known, maybe it wasn't even Ukrainian. Maybe it was an American over there. It goes on to say the United States Air Force Global Hawk surveillance drone airborne prior to and during the attack. The precise target coordinates were provided by us. The attack on the Russian civilians was by us. So if you read the last three lines, this appears to many people to have been an act of war by the United States against Russian civilians. Now let me say it a different way. So we made the weapon. We sent it to Ukraine. Ukraine can't fire it. They can't aim it. So we aimed it, and truth be known, probably we even fired it. So at this point, America has already attacked and killed Russians while they're on the beach. So he says here, his opinion. So if Americans on a beach, let's say someplace in New Jersey or Florida, were hit by cluster munitions provided by Russia, launched by someone else while a Russian drone was offshore at the time of the attack, what would we in the United States do? We would say Russia, or would we say Russia's not a party to the conflict, or would we blow them up? I think we'd blow them up. If you think we would declare war and blow them up, then why shouldn't Russia do exactly the same thing to us? In other words, technically, Russia could attack us at any moment and say, we started it. America started it. They drew first blood. They attacked us first. Next article, Russia blames U.S. for Crimea deaths and vows response. Russians are not stupid. And they know what has happened, and they're saying, we will get even. Russia has blamed the U.S. and vowed consequences for a Ukrainian missile strike on Sevastopol, if I'm saying that right, in occupied Crimea on Sunday. Around 150 or more injured in the attack as missile debris fell on a beach nearby. Russia's defense ministry said the missiles used by Ukraine were U.S.-supplied ATACMS missiles and claimed they were programmed by U.S. specialists. Kremlin says it's a barbaric move and accused the U.S. of killing Russian children. He pointed out that Vladimir Putin, who recently vowed to target countries supplying weapons to Ukraine. Everything is there. Russia can now attack and destroy America. Russia declares the United States a party to the Ukraine conflict. So, Russia is saying, we know who you are. We know you made the munitions. You pushed the button, you guided it, you killed Russians. So Russia is declaring the United States. They could declare war on the United States anytime now. In conversation with Tracy, Russian officials emphasized that the United States was waging a hybrid war against Russia and had become party to the Ukraine conflict by supplying Kyiv with modern weapons, including the ATACMS missiles with cluster munitions. The ministry also noted that American military specialists were actively engaged in designing the flight mission, which means they bear the same responsibility for the atrocity as the Kyiv regime. So, just how serious is this? This is real serious, my friends. This is real serious. Okay, this is amazing. So what do you have and how did you get it?
I called you today because I wanted to share something with your audience that we're very excited about. So as you know, we help people with precious metals, people who have retirement accounts, and we put assets in there. I'm going to hold this up. This is a kilo of gold. I think maybe your audience have seen this before. But over the years, people have said to me, you know, I have this big gold bar, but I don't have a hacksaw in my back pocket, and I can't cut it up into, you know, tiny little pieces. How am I going to use it? How am I going to spend it? How can I trade or barter with it? So we've listened to our audience, and over the years, I can't tell you countless numbers of people have told me that they wish they had something that they could carry with them that was tradable and barterable. And I'm really proud to announce the launch of this product here. We call it the Prepper Bar. And I'm going to hold it up here. It's such a unique, look how thin it is, okay? We call it the Prepper Bar. We call it Wealth in Your Wallet. On the front, it says, "In God We Trust." Now, what makes this so unique is it's kind of like a Hershey chocolate bar. You can break these pieces off. The top row is 1/20th of an ounce. The middle row is 1/4 of an ounce. The bottom row is 1/10 of an ounce. And if I turn it around, what also makes this so unique, you'll see it's made in the USA. It's the only bar of its kind that's divisible that is actually made in America. And the only place people can get these, Stan, is at prophecyclubbar.com, which we will put down in the link below. And also what makes these so special is that they're approved for an IRA, which means they've been sovereignized. And that's actually a big deal because there's many people out there that have blanks, they stamp them, but they're not approved by the IRS for an IRA. These are. So, you know, you can, like I said, you can break it, you can trade it. You don't have to. This is a piece here that comes off. It's robust. So just for an example here, I'm just going to little demonstration. You can break these pieces off. You know what hits the fan. You're stuck on Brooklyn Bridge or wherever you are, and you want rite of passage home. You pull out one of these and you barter, you trade with it or not, right? We call it Wealth in Your Wallet. Here's my wallet. And I keep one in here. It fits.
That's awesome. I mean, because that way you can have it with you all the time, and an emergency hits, and boom, you can talk, man.
Yeah. So it comes in gold. It comes in silver. Yeah. And obviously, I feel that people who are new to precious metals maybe don't have tens of thousands of dollars, but they want to still get on the precious metals ladder. These are very affordable. They're as low as $139 a bar. They can go to prophecyclubbar.com. So we'll put that in the link below. And this is a very unique product. I currently have, InStyle Magazine, Wall Street Journal, major publications I've got scheduled up that are dying to interview me about this. You're actually one of the first people that I'm talking to you about this with. And anytime you can have a product, Stan, that's innovative and it meets the legacy of gold, it's to me, I absolutely love it because it's a use case scenario for this product. And again, I think people have different. I personally buy it because I just think it's cool. There's nothing like it on the market.
Let me talk about our 3 sponsors briefly. First, if you want to get gold or silver, we're going to send you to 800-200-GOLD or prophecyclubgold.com. prophecyclubgold.com. Second, if you want to get long-term emergency food, the only place I would send you to is josephskitchen.com. It is what I believe is God's long-term storage food. As you recall, Pharaoh and Joseph, what fed the world for 7 years was wheat. Most of your long-term storage places, $9,000 to $10,000 to feed one person for 1 year. Joseph's Kitchen can show you how to do it for about $1,000, one person, 1 year. And EMP Shield. If you want your car to start, if you want your computers to start after some kind of nuclear event, that's the device to get. And if you go to empshield.com and use the promo code PROPHECY, get you a $50 discount and helps your Prophecy Club. So my first question before we get started is, what is Watch Prophecy Club? Well, a lot of people that have been going to this have been very impressed, the comments are, because for some 25 years we used to have a guest speaker in, sometimes 2 or 3 a month. We made over, I think it was like 330 DVDs from 160 guest speakers. Most all of them, about 300 of them, are available at watchprophecyclub.com. You can watch them instantly. And they're about 2.5 hours each. We used to offer them for a gift of $30. That's about $9,000 worth of DVDs, all for a gift of $20 a month or $200 a year. Things on it like is. As you can see, here's some of the titles. some more of the titles: Prophecies of Oil in Israel, More Prophecies of Oil in Israel, Asher's Secret Prophecy and Oil in Israel, Meteor Destruction of America, and also Catastrophe, Meteor, Tsunami, and Earthquake. A lot of them. Matter of fact, this is one of your favorite ones that I talk and relate to a lot. This is from Pastor Shane Warren, and it's all up there. Go to watchprophecyclub.com, $20 a month, $200 a year, and yes, it helps your prophecy club. But it gets a lot of really good information into your heart. Watchprophecyclub.com. Also, office just called me. We have 10 Berkey Royals in stock, and they come with 2 filters, about 3¼ gallons per Berkey, and they're $450 plus shipping. We also now carry Alexa Pure, which is a little smaller, 2¼ gallons. Each filter lasts about 200 gallons, then you replace it. It comes with 1 filter for $275 or 2 filters for $375 and $120 for each extra filter, maximum 4. Also, you can get a stand for $40 and 65-gallon water bank, which is a big bladder that you put into your bathtub, fill it up, and it should stay fresh for about 16 weeks, and it provides water for about 2 months for one person.